Hello, beautiful. Thank you for coming into a Talk Time with Ta. If this is your first time here, welcome to our beautiful spot. If you're returning, hey, I'm glad you came back. I hope your journey has been well. I hope you're remaining curious and pursuing your truths. And today I'm coming with, I feel like it's like a part two of something that I recently posted here on the channel, which is in the post tab, and it's a written piece called The Heart Revolution that I put on Substack. Now, Substack is separate from YouTube if you all are not familiar with it. Substack is an app where you can go find a lot of original writing done by some known authors and everyday people. And I really, 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 really love this space because uh, I writing is truly my first love. Writing is truly, truly, truly my first love, and I haven't been able to own that truth for a long time. But now I am using the Substack space to write, and my latest piece that I wrote on there, I have three pieces up there, but the latest piece is called The Heart Revolution. I post there on October the 17th. You can find a link in the description box below, or you can go to the post tab here on YouTube and you'll see that I post on the 17th here too, the written piece, a link to the written piece as well. You don't have to subscribe, but you can click on that link if you want to go to the piece. That piece was about us coming into a heart revolution, and I call it the heart revolution because we are stepping into a space of the heart's intelligence, which is actually it's a remembrance more than it is something new, because we all know there's nothing new under the sun. uh, and the heart revolution talks about the inner child in us. And after I put that piece up, I'm not going to go too much into the details of the piece, but after I put that piece up, I thought about the fact that I have been doing videos since January 2024 here on YouTube that was discussing what led me to the full understanding of what I captured in that written piece. And so I wanted to come here and talk about what brought me to write that Heart Revolution piece, to kind of bring everything together. Because when I sat back and thought about it after I put that piece up on Substack, I was like, wow, God has been bringing me to this understanding all along. And I'm sure there's a lot of you that can relate to that too, that you're experiencing the same journey yourself. So I just want to talk about it here and just go from touch on the 2024 January to now. So I thought it was important to do this too. Um, so like I said, back in January 2024, I started um, posting here talking about the masculine and feminine energy and how the current way of life as we know it, the ego-based society, is no longer serving our highest good. And again, you could click, I don't know if I said this already, but you could click into Ta Talks playlist here on my YouTube channel, as well as the Todd's podcast playlist. They all are dated, the videos that I posted, and you can follow them in order by date, to catch up to all that I was expressing if you haven't embarked on this journey already for yourself. Um, and so, what I wanted to talk about here is the healed versions of our masculine and feminine energy that we've been talking about up to now are now witnessing both internal and external duality. If you've done the work to tap into your shadows, to see your woundings, to do the work, you've healed both the masculine and the feminine portions that needed to be healed. And I personally feel like the masculine and feminine will always need to be worked on and looked at and reviewed and contemplated. But that's another topic for another time. But if you've done the if you realize that life isn't working and you started doing your working as you knew it, and you were called to start to do that work on yourself, which we all I feel like there was a global call to do the work on ourselves back in during C19 of 2020. You know, the big C. I feel like we were all called into solitude at that point, and we were all given a chance to reflect on life and see what was working out for us and what wasn't working out for us and what was uncomfortable about all aspects of our life. I feel like that was an opportunity God and the universe allowed us to have, and some of us jumped on that opportunity and some of us didn't. But there's still time. You can still do it. Now that the divine masculine and feminine are healed and they remember themselves, then I feel like that duality of them coming together and realizing the balance in the marriage and the divine union, the internal child was able to experience a rebirth. And that's where the true, authentic version of us lies. That's where the purity, that's where God is in that heart space of the inner child, because the inner child, just like a natural child, does not have all of these patterns and restrictions, and the child is very primal. Just like when we were born as little children, we were very primal. We weren't um, pausing about what we were going to do and how were we going to do it. We did what we felt like. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. If I want to throw my food on the floor because I don't want to eat it, that's what I'm going to do as a child. If my mom's breath stink when she talking to me, I'm going to tell my mommy, your breath stink. It wasn't like that was before parents said yes or no to things, before the teacher said you should write and speak this way, before governments and laws said no, this is the norm, this is how you should be, before social media, entertainment, news, television, all of those things put impressions on us to tell us how we should show up in the world. The innocent inner child, or the child itself in the external world, was able to move about without all of these holds and telling us yes or no about what our truths are. It's like since childbirth we've been going through a programming and a dictation of what should be for us. And some of us have truly gotten away from our truths. And so I feel like, again, that duality, that marriage of the masculine and feminine, is allowing us to experience the rebirth of the inner child. And now we have the wisdom of the mother, the father, the masculine and the feminine, to allow the expression of the inner child to be the pure heart. And I even spoke about in that written piece how this is not new. This is something the ancients understood. This is something that was written in biblical texts. It's nothing new. And I feel like this Pluto and Aquarius transit is allowing us to once again experience a revolution, but this time not just a revolution of intellect, but of intelligence of the heart. Because we all know that Pluto in Aquarius, or with, excuse me, I don't want to assume, maybe we don't know. Pluto in Aquarius is literally transformation of the higher intellect. Pluto represents death and transformation, and Aquarius represents the higher intellect. When you bring those together, it's a transformation of intellect. And intellect is really the way that we look at the world, the way we see it as human beings. And this time, it's involving the revolution of the heart space so that we could tap back into that intelligence of the heart space. Another thing I want to mention here in this space is that we walk with our hearts every day, right? That inner child is there. It's just waiting for us to do the work, okay? And once we are tapped into our inner child and we are able to express from the heart again and tap into our creativity and be our most authentic version of ourselves, there are a whole lot of other people that have not done the work and have not released the allowed that ego death to happen, because in order in order for us to arrive to this rebirth of the internal child and to heal the masculine and feminine, the ego must die. The ego death must happen. There's no way around it. And we all know that the ego loves control and thrives off fear. And the world as a whole is gonna go through this transformative time, and the chaos is going to ensue. And people that we love and are around on a daily basis that are refusing to let go and surrender and do their work, we're going to see them have serious mental issues. We're seeing it already happening because, again, Pluto in Aquarius is transformation of the intellect. So one of the key things that I've seen, and I think I'm gonna do another video about this, is our social media culture. So many of us scroll and death scroll, doom scroll, whatever you call it. So many of us are sitting in front of our computers and our phones and our TVs, and we are living a separate reality when we do that. So when we go out into our actual reality, there's something subconsciously that has to switch in order for us to be balanced and exist properly. So what I think, I personally done this myself as of I took a social media fast. I disabled um, my TikTok, my Instagram, my Facebook. I got rid of TikTok long before because I realized I was spending hours on TikTok. But I got rid of my I shut down my Instagram. I shut down um, my Facebook as well, because I just needed to. First of all, Spirit literally told me, social media, you need to pause on that, because I was just too distracted and it was stopping me from really tapping into my truths. So I'm not subscribing for anyone to delete their social media, but what I am asking you all to possibly subscribe to, is to give yourself periods of solitude daily. Daily. Give yourself some quiet time. If it's 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes. No phones, no talking, no music, no nothing. Just quiet. And take some deep breaths. Because your body will, on its own, tap back in if you practice this. It's a fact. Our nervous systems need it. With the way that we are so connected to technology, our nervous systems need the pause. It needs to recalibrate, and it cannot do that if it's constantly stimulated. The best things we can do for our health, for our nervous system, is to pause and give ourselves a moment to um, be in solitude and wait, and just so that we can tap back into ourselves and our truth, okay? I'm not going to ramble. This is why I like to write, because when I start talking, I have a Gemini brain. My Mars and Venus is in Gemini. My mother and my father are both Geminis. I just can talk till the cows come home. So I'm going to stop here. I will be back because I feel like we're just starting a new chapter right now. So I'll be back with more messages. Like I always tell y'all, love yourselves like only you can. I love you because I love everybody. I'll see you soon. Check out my playlist, the Todd Talks, Todd's podcast, like I was telling you before, and even my Go a Little Deeper playlist and my music. I've been constantly updating those playlists all along, so you'll find some interesting videos and music there too. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.